And hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for another live stream show, with no stranger here, man. We went through actually training together last year, man. That went so far, man, so fast. So, with my boy Orintho Farris, man. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, brother.
Oh, Orintho Farris, been on the show before. From Rockford, Illinois. As Joan
Mhm.
said, as you know, Joan's in the Air Force. We went to training together. We were in security force training together, and I'm just glad to be here today. Talk about the topic that we're going to be talking about today because it's a topic that I hold near and dear to me, and I could be showing, sharing a couple of experiences and stuff that I've had and how I've overcame some stuff in my career.
Okay, and that's good. So you hit me up about this earlier this afternoon. So let's get into it, man. So the whole, I think you said your message is about, let's start with the suicide prevention. And that's something that's key because a lot of young kids and adults are still going through this every single year, no matter how much technology has improved or how much stuff that we have accumulated. I mean, you even got, like, very successful people doing it as well as those who are not as successful. So, what do you think is before you share your example, what do you think is like the core reason why this stuff it keeps going on, like people giving up and losing faith and just want to self harm themselves?
Because they don't really have a support system. You know, people say they're going to be there for them, and you know, when they need them, they're not there, and just they need someone there, someone to be there, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons, they feel alone and just like nobody can is there for them, and trying to help them in this difficult journey because that's what I call it a journey. It's a
Hmm.
journey because it's not going to last all the time. It's not going to last all the time, but it's going to be there for a short period. So I call it a journey. Help people get to that journey that they need to get through.
Okay. And in your personal experience, did you what are you doing to, like, kind of like prevent from people hurting themselves and actually just to uplift themselves?
Just being there for people. Like I said, I try to interact with everybody. You know that. Like I talk
Yeah,
to everybody. I don't do that. Class. That popularity stuff. I
right.
treat people like they're human. If you are a human, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna talk with you. Because that even the smallest positive interaction that you have with somebody is going to can affect them a long way.
Right.
And that's what people need to understand. Like just that little smallest positive interaction that you have with somebody can get them to where you need to be. Get them to where they need to be as a person and to feel safe and comfortable and not feel alone.
Right. Okay. And because I know you're from Illinois, right?
Yes.
And in your personal experience, like, I know we hear a lot of stuff in the news, like, especially in the Chicago area, like, in the black community per se, it's a lot of crime going on. People, loves when getting shot and killed for no reason sometimes. The police brutality that goes on, that can take a toll on a lot of people. So it's kind of hard to still stay encouraged when you're around that violence every single day, you know.
Hmm.
So and it's just like, when I hear, like, I think it was a young brother, man. I think I reported this. He was on a football team. I forgot what state, but he had a full scholarship to go to college and everything. But I guess because of the stress, he had to take care of his parents and his mom and his sisters and stuff. He he just walked down the train, area, and then got hit, you know, and
Yeah.
he died. So I'm just like, man, there's so many people that's like have talents and gifts, man, and they just kind of just letting it just go waste because of what the stuff they're going through. So that's the reason why I titled this, like, your blessings on the other side, but the storm might be too heavy. Like, this as believers, right? So
Yes.
once you accept Christ, it's a trial for you the next day, and that's all part of it. And
Yes.
so, on a Christian perspective, Ferris, how are you still? I think you kind of answer it, but are you still, like, do you think, like, keeping your, even if you're not Christian, but do you think, like, just keeping your faith in something, like in God, or just anything? Because you got people put their faith in their jobs, and their placement, and how they're gonna maneuver through life. So, what advice can you give to people, like, just to keep it going, like, each and every single day?
as you know, I am a Christian, and
Mhm.
that's just one, chasing that everlasting life, trying to be there, be where God wants you to be, and to chase his views and to be in his images. That's what we do have to do as that's what we are trying to do as believers, trying to chase the image of God.
Mhm.
So, tell people have something you want to chase, have something that you want to strive to do, to do, see yourself. You know me, I'm a dreamer. I see stuff
Right.
before it happens. I'm a dreamer. So if I see it, work that plan out, execute it. That's how I see it.
Mhm.
That's how I do anything in my life. I see the plan, make the plan, execute, chase your dream. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not enough, that you can't do it, that you're this and that. And especially as black males, I'm just gonna say that, especially as black males, we try to play the big macho role, and
Mhm.
we we don't talk about our problems as often as other people do. And I feel like that stigma needs to change. We all need help. Every now and then we all need help. And I'm gonna go with I'm gonna share a story here. I have a friend, January 23rd, 2020. I got a call, received a call, and his friend is he had just had a kid on the first July 1st. He just had his first kid, little
Mhm.
boy. I received a call from his wife. She texted me, and she called me, and she was like, "Hey, Andrew's no longer with us."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?" She's like, "He took his life."
Mm.
And it just kind of has still kind of affected me, because like this is somebody I talk to on a daily, and somebody,
Yeah.
at least if I don't talk to him every day, we at least talk once a week. I'm just like, I didn't know, so I kind of fit, I felt like I failed as a friend by not knowing, not witnessing, not knowing the signs and all that. So this year, I kind of dedicated, some a part of my life to suicide prevention, and trying to be, a monitor, and finding out those signs and all that to figure out what somebody's going through. Just those little triggers, just so you make people feel the way that they want to be treated. I want to feel, and
Right.
to that day that he has a son, his dad's not going to be here because of the things that he was going through, and he wasn't letting nobody know, he wasn't talking with anybody. And
Mhm.
that gets to me, that bites at me, because I know he was a strong dude, strong mind dude. And it's just I know he didn't want anybody to be all in his business, but I
Right.
mean, us as males, we need to talk to somebody. I get help. I talk to a counselor, every now and then, at least once a week. Even not no, well, not even once a week, at least every 2 weeks or whatever. Just cause sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
Yeah,
Not
man.
because you're going, yeah, not because you're going through anything, not because I'm going through anything. I just sit down and talk to them, because sometimes you need somebody to hear you out.
Yeah.
Because especially in the military, you're limited on things that you get to say sometimes about
Exactly. Yeah.
what you're going through or what you're doing in your job and all that. So, it's all bottled up, and you're like, all right, I don't really have anybody to vent to. Boom, you got MFLAC counselors in the military. We got your chaplains. You got mental health workers. We have all these resources, and you know, to get us to where we need to be. So,
That's deep.
go-
Yeah, because that's beautiful. Because I remember when you first got to your base and everything, you seeing the chaplain and stuff like that. And let me ask you this too: like, you didn't feel like you say, you hit something really good because especially as men, black men, but this is like a men thing in general. Yeah, like you said, we don't want anyone in our business. We don't want to seem weak. So we was always taught like, hey, to suck it up and keep moving. And some of those aspects is good, because you can't,
yeah,
you gotta, you still gotta continuously to go through the trials, but at the same time, though, we're human beings as well, and we gotta understand that our women needs us because now that son is growing up without his dad, you may have figures in his life, but at the same time, it's a structure secure when your biological father is gone. You still kind of need it because he's part of you. And now it's this thing like a vicious cycle because we don't know if he's gonna grow up being depressed, sad, angry, or get into drugs. Hope you don't do those things, but you'd be surprised when people try to they do certain things just to act out
yeah,
because of how angry they are. So, and the thing is this, man, when you went to the chaplain and stuff, you didn't feel ashamed or anything, like I mean, even though it could be confidential, you didn't have to tell anybody, but instead of you just like, let me just focus on my job, you like, hey, let me just do this and get my mental health right.
yeah. Especially, I didn't feel ashamed, you
Okay.
know, because for years I did feel ashamed. For years I did, and then I was like, man, I can't be ashamed. I need to make sure I'm right before for anything else. So me going to the chaplain, going to the in-flight counselors, going and talking to people, I didn't feel
Mhm.
ashamed because for years I did, and I just let stuff eat at me and eat at me. But now I don't. Now I'm trying to work and be the positive person and be a positive role model, be a positive influence to people. And like I always say this all the time, like nobody knows my story. And
Mhm.
I tell people all the time, like, you don't know my story, like you don't know what I've been through. And everybody's like, oh, you're so positive and you're so this and that, and we always see you smiling, you're never upset. And I'm just like, I'm just living life. I'm taking it one step at a time because sometimes we fall into a trend of as believers or non-believers, following the things that the world wants us to do, and we
Right.
can't. As a believer, you have to follow that guideline, that 10 Commandments, that set in stone, and that's what I'm trying. As a believer, what I'm trying to do.
That's good, man. That's good. And you seen some positive benefits from after the counseling sessions from the chaplain and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely have. Yeah, it's like definitely been positive, some positive things that
Hmm.
came out of that. Just me not dwelling on little things anymore. Like I said, I used to dwell
Yeah.
on the little things, and I'm like, man. Now I look back, I'm like, why did I let that bother me? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, why,
I
why,
know.
why did I even let that bother me? Like, that's so crazy of me to even, let that bother me.
Well, it's crazy because this people say something to you like 10, 15 years ago, and you still replay it in your head, and that affects you for what you're trying to do now. And that's called trauma, and words can really hurt. But what I understood too, like go back to scriptures too, like with Christ, they mocked him, they beat him, and all this type of stuff. I mean, even he challenged the Pharisees and Sadducees, but he still continued his mission, to go out here to give us the truth and give us which is called the Holy Spirit. And so when he ascended to heaven, and the thing is though, he was still working on this mission, making sure the disciples they were doing what they supposed to do because he knew he wasn't going to be on earth forever, right? So
Yeah,
why I said all of that is this because it's that as men we got a mission. God gave us a mission. God gave us a vision. Yes, it's going to be difficult. Yes, it's going to be hard because of the sin,
right?
right? Now we have to we got to learn from it and continue to move forward because the whole purpose of life when I had a interview with Khalid is eternal last night
Yeah,
it,
yeah, I
it
thought.
yeah, thank you, bro. It's pretty much about you you loving God and at this, taking care of your family, your wife, and stuff like that. And you have children and you relive, your experiences and you share your testimony as God has given to you in your life to the children. And it's the same thing that's supposed to happen over and over again. But what Satan tried to do is he tried to throw these temptation stuff at
Yes,
you and
yes,
everything.
yes,
And he tried to get into your flesh. And this is why God says, deny your flesh. I think that's the hardest thing for us because it's easy for us to be complacent. It's easy for us to be like, oh man, God ain't working for me in my life. Financial hardships, coronavirus stuff happens. You laid off from your job.
yes,
Kids not
yes,
school. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. But I look at all this though, Ferris. It's like our journey like I said, when I got into my military base and stuff like that, I mean, I wasn't, it was a little bit of that, but I was kind of focused on let me take, day at a time. I always kept my Bible with me. Especially that foundation I had in school, did white robe. I didn't do it for just the awards and recognition. I did it because I want to get closer to Christ, and I feel like it's just a good time for me to do that while I'm in
Yes.
the military. Because the service, man, it's really not. I won't say it's common, but you don't meet too many people that follows Christ like that, man. Besides the chaplain, so it can be kind of
Yeah.
tough. Sometimes you feel like you're the only one out there that loves God, though. It's weird, but but that
It
support
is
system.
until you meet. It is until you meet other Christians. Like
Mm-hmm,
my last supervisor, he is very big. He's a very big follower of Christ, and him and his wife are, and
mm-hmm,
they've been really supportive of me the struggles that I've been through and all that, especially the last couple months, with just everything that I've been through. And I'm like, you know, at first when I was going through it and the situation, through the situation, and
mm-hmm,
they were trying to help, I'm like, are they being so nice? Because just I was in a dark place, and I'm just like, why are they being so nice? And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
because they care. You actually can tell when somebody actually cares about you and want to see you succeed. And I
Yeah,
can tell him and his wife really want to see me succeed and be be successful in my career, within my life, within my pursuit of Christ. And at the time, like I said, I didn't see it, but now I do. Like I do appreciate them for that. Like I hope they're watching and you know they can see this, and I'm very appreciative.
that's good. That's good. And so, Chris, do you consider those, like, do you find like a mentor, anything on base?
Yeah, I found a few mentors, people
Okay.
who are trying to lead me in the right direction. Like I said, I've kind of fallen off. I kind of fell off the last couple months, and of where I am with Christ and where I am, as a person, who am I, as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm on that. I've been calling it Orintho 2.0. I'm on the Orintho 2.0, and I'm trying to revitalize what I had going on to get back to where I need to be.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, man. Yeah, because I remember shouts out to brother Howard, man. We started the congregation, stuff. I know we haven't
Yeah,
been online like that because everybody been working crazy schedules, but
yeah,
I like
yeah,
something like that is kind of cool, especially with the group chats and stuff like that, man. And sharing positivity, man. And we know we've been seeing a lot of stuff going on in America and all over the world, man. And it's like, dang, like, especially like diversity training and stuff like that, man, and trying to get people to understand our perspective and what we live through. And that's kind of tough sometimes when you're working with them every day, you know.
mm.
But it's
What's good thing for me, I have a good support system. Like Howard.
yeah,
He's my roommate. He's supportive of things, and you know he tries to be there as well. He's a role model a little bit. I guess I can say just a little bit.
that's good. I have to get him on here sometime soon because I don't know if he's working, but
He's
uh,
working. He sleep right now. He has to go into work a few hours because he works
okay.
night.
Yeah, because I think he's working on an ebook at this moment. I kind of want to see how's that going right now. Um, that's good. And I just think too, like, just a person, whether you're in school or anything, because you're gonna need that, and then I think this is gonna kind of eliminate a lot of people, a lot of mass shootings, all this type of stuff that goes on, man, deep inside. But I just think that we have a wrong narrative on what it means to be a man and stuff like that. And I'm just looking like, the world is telling you, do this and do that. In all
Yeah,
reality, leading you to the grave, so yeah, I believe it's just like getting back into like the biblical principles, and thing is too, without suicide too, you got kids that's getting bullied too as well. They don't know how
yeah,
to combat that. So I mean, we grew up in the code. Well, I remember when somebody hit you, you hit them back. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. But if they don't have if you don't have the courage to do that, it's like they're gonna keep messing with you, and to the point that you explode, or you just feel like, I don't want to be suffering like this anymore. I just want to end my life, and all you want to do is go to school and learn. So it's a lot of that stuff goes on, man. So what can you, like, if someone is like, verbally, what I'm saying, physically getting bullied and stuff like that, man, what advice can you give them, bro? Like, what you honestly think they should do?
me. I ain't gonna let nobody run me over, and
Yeah.
so I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna say something.
Hmm.
Like you're not just going to run me over. Like just last week, like we were doing a training exercise. You know, we were cops, and
Yeah.
somebody thought that it was just a good idea to yell out, "Oh, I can't breathe," while the person was getting handcuffed, and I'm like,
You still doing that? That's so
you
old,
know,
man. Yeah.
and I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm like,
Mhm.
are you guys really serious right now? So, you know,
Yeah.
I went into the staff sergeant, you know, after the scenario was over, I went into the staff sergeant who was running the scenario, and I told him, like, hey, that didn't sit right with me, you know. I ain't trying to get anybody in trouble, but that ain't cool. Like, why would somebody, you know, why would he think that that was cool to even yell out and say, he's like, yeah, or talk to those individuals, and I'm like, please, because I'm like, because you know me, like, you know me, I've grown from a lot from where I used to be, because last year, you know, if, if it was me last year, being honest, you know me, I probably would have fed into them and was like in their face, like all up in their face. But you know, I'm trying to handle things the way they're, you know, work the things the way they're supposed to be done now, and
Mhm.
you know, trying to tone it down just a little bit. Because you know, I was so in tech school, I was just so like very, I guess I would say very offensive. I was on the offensive, and you know,
Yeah.
trying to, you know, react to every little thing, which I didn't need to.
Mm. Okay.
Like I'm learning that everything does not need a reaction now. You know, not from, you know, not at the moment. It's ways of going about doing things, and at the moment, I just like, you know what, that ain't the right thing to do. You know, go to the staff sergeant, let him know. You know, so that's what I did.
That's what. Yeah. Yeah. That's good, man. It's just just not reacting to certain things like that, bro. Just kind of calming down for a little bit. And I just feel like this too. I was watching a ministry called Stephen Darby. He talked about uprooting and suicide. My thing is just like, you already going through, what I'm saying? This is my personal opinion. If you're already going through hell right now on earth and everything, I mean, what makes it better for you to, take your life? I truly feel like, and think you're going to stand up to God and say, okay, why are you here? Well, I killed myself because I was going through this, and you will be very hurtful. God would say, well, that was just part of the testing of your life, but you was gonna have to, if you would have stuck on a little bit longer, this was the blessings that you was going to have, you know. And I just feel like, like God gave us, saying He gave us life, He breathed into the nostrils of men. And so therefore we created this, we we have a strong presence. We have a strong, you good. Season coming up. We have a strong vision. We have a strong presence in his image. And it's important for us to live on this earth until He calls us home, you know. And my advice to all the people out here that may be going through stuff like this, man, uncertainty, just stick to it, and remember the storm will pass. It's not gonna storm every day. It's not gonna be sunshine every day, and that's just hard to balance of life. But this is why Apostle Paul teaches us to be content, in things
Yes.
we have. And I think that's the major thing too, man. Kind of be grateful in things that you have. I feel like, if you go to a different country and stuff like that, you got other people who's living worse than you, but still happy and grateful. You had to work 2 or 3 miles just to get some water, just to wash themselves every single day. And who knows if that water is contaminated
Clean.
or not.
Yeah,
You know,
cleaner. Yeah.
I think, and this is not just an American issue. I mean, it's a worldly thing, but I just truly believe that, I just think as human beings, we don't want to go through anything, and it's just part of the process of life. You have to, in order to make you stronger, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, people, we as you know, especially us as Americans, we take a lot of stuff for granted. Like
Mhm.
the other day, I was just looking at a kid, you know, just walking with no shoes on. I'm just riding down the road, and I'm like, man, like this kid's walking around with no shoes on. You know, parents, got a shopping cart rolling, probably the only belongings that they have in their, cart. And I'm like, it kind of made me tear up because I'm like, I take stuff for granted. I take stuff for granted all the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change that, and I'm like, man, it's just the little things. Like, just be grateful for the little things. Like, be grateful that you woke up again today. Be grateful that you got a house you can go back to. Be grateful that you were able to brush your teeth. Able to have water, take a shower. Because there's people out here who are living and going through stuff who aren't able to do that.
Mhm.
You know me, like I will get my shirt. I would get my shirt, the one that I'm wearing right now, to anybody who is struggling to try to make them, a better life for themselves.
Yep. That's good. And that's what we need to do, man, being our brother's keeper. And like I said, with anything like that, help you, with little stuff like that, with your assignments stuff, man. That's just like, iron sharpens iron, one should sharpen another. I feel like we should, help each other out in those certain things. If there's some information that we know, be willing to share it as well, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what we have to look at, and I just feel like, with this, tying into us as a race of people, we gotta have that community. We gotta have that network, and it's just we gotta eliminate the hatred
Yes.
and competition. I think we should steadily competing against one another, and we gotta lift each other's talents and gifts, man. I think that's the only way I feel like that's gonna really help us get where we need to be financially, like all over in America, man. Because right now we in a, as you can see, we're in a crisis, man. I mean, you go on Facebook, you're gonna see something negative. It's just like, so it
It's just
starts.
like this year alone for me has just like been so weird. Like
Yeah,
everything happened, and people have asked me like, people have legit have asked me like, how are you holding up with this? Like, this is a lot for one person to take on at a time. And I'm like,
yeah,
I kind of took it the wrong way, like when they first said it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you think I'm supposed to, not be here or something? Or what are you trying to say? And I'm just like, and I'm like, I just try to be resilient. I do
yeah,
things that I like to do and just try to stay fresh, like praying, refereeing. I volunteer at a community center here in
that's
town,
good.
and
That's good.
it's just those things. Like those things keep me motivated to go on, keep going and doing things that I want to do. Like I said, I had fallen off the last couple of months because of COVID and because of things that I had going on in my life. But 2 weeks ago, I told myself, hey, it's time to get Rento 2.0 started and to
Mhm.
get back to where I was and not to let little things bother me or try to, keep me from being to where I'm supposed to
Yeah, I agree. Volunteering doing community events is good. To some reason, the military, I will say they're good for that. They be having that, especially on the emails, and the sergeants always ask us, give us opportunities to do that. And I love doing that. It's something about serving. And so what you just explained there, that's when the essence of a man is to be a service, serve one another. That's
be.
that I mean, that's the ultimate thing. That's what we need to do. And because like I understand this too, when you're little, you just like to receive, you don't understand. But as you get older, like it's more satisfaction when you give to people, even if you don't have as much, you're giving. And
Yes.
and I'm looking like, as to the account of Jesus, that's exactly what he did, and we have to model that behavior, especially as believers. So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, well, we have to be of service, and the opposite of a man is someone who wants to be served. You get what I'm saying? They want people to serve him. So that's what I discovered, man. That's real deep, man. And so you know, like missionaries, go on missionary trips, man. I remember personally what changed my life. This is happened a long time ago, in 2007, 2 years after Hurricane Katrina. We was there, and I was like 12 years old at the time. We was praying for the people, giving people food. We was partnering up with a local church, things like that, and giving them. I'm talking about like cases of water. As people run out of water, we was giving them food, stuff like that. Um, you know, people staying in RVs. It was pretty rough, and people are still going through it, man. But just little things like that, man. Even if you don't have a whole bunch of money or influence, you still, you're born here to as a man to give. You know what I'm saying? And then our
Yeah, that
women
little
too.
that little
So
impact that you're giving people's life.
exactly. This being an impact, and so I'm not trying to really talk about this. That's not the whole purpose of this video. But when this whole Floyd situation happened, man, I was really angry, upset, and I'm looking like, this is kind of inspired. Like, okay, what can I do? Saying to change all this, man. Like, cause I'm in the air, we in the Air Force. There's only so much we can do. We can't go out and protest like that. So it's just like, all right, well, start something, small, like have discussions with your chief to do some diversity training or something like that, man. Because stuff that happens outside in the world, like race issues, does affect how you perform at your job.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So we can't ignore it. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because you guys, it's a lot of black people in the armed services, and that might feel some type of way, towards their, their bosses or people that don't look like them and stuff like that. And the thing is, you don't want to create hatred, what I'm saying, of another race because somebody killed your own people, unjustly.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
that was part of my pastor's sermon today. He said, to hate another man is to hate God.
Mm.
Because you're allowing the devil to corrupt your mind to hate another person. I texted somebody today and told them, hey, somebody who did me wrong. I texted them today and I'm like, hey, I just wanted to let you know I am not mad at you. I do not hate you or I'm not upset with you, for what you did to me. And I
Mm.
told him, I'm like, I just need to let you know that because I need to get that peace of mind for me in order, to get onto the track that I want. Because you hold on to that little stuff, and it's little at the moment, and it just becomes so big and grows, and it becomes an issue, and it starts affecting your work performance, start affecting the way you think, it start affecting the way that you do things, the way you go about stuff, and I'm not that's I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to change that perception of me because like that's who I was, that's who I used to be, and that's not me no more. Like I don't have any hate, like I don't have hatred for anybody for who done me wrong. Like
Mm.
think about it, I think about it, I think, man, it's just silly to sit here and hate somebody for, you know, they did you wrong. I get it. I 100% get it. But it's just silly to sit here and just keep dwelling on it and to keep thinking, letting it affect your life.
True. True. Yep. Yep. You got
Because
lucky. Cool.
you think about it, those people have gone on with everything they've done. They're going on with their life. They're having fun. They're moving on, doing whatever, and you're still over here sitting down dwelling about the little things that somebody did to you,
Mm-hmm.
which is so minute and so something that could have been finished and handled with a simple, hey, let's work this out, or hey, let's try to fix this, and what can we do differently in order to not make this situation happen again.
Right. I agree. I agree. I agree. That's a tough one. I think we listen to a sermon like forgiveness is tough, man. That's just something that we got to do. Because it's just something in the back of our minds. Like, I want to get this person back. I want to get back what this person done to me. Make them feel what I felt. So that's key that you brought that up, man. And I would say this too. There ain't nothing wrong seeing a therapist too, man. I mean, shoot, utilize it. I mean, that's what they there for. And most of it is controversial. I know people might think it might affect their jobs and their reputation, but at the same time, this is your life. Because if you're sick and what good is you for the kingdom of God? You know what I'm saying? If you're not right mentally, that's how I look at it.
See, I'm gonna let people know now, like especially in our career field, we have that negative of, oh, if we go and talk to somebody, we're going to lose our job and all that.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you know I am somebody who's done those things. I am somebody who's went and sought that help and seek that help. No negative content, negative, no nothing negative has came from it. Like stop, let's get that stigma away from, especially from our career field. Let's get that stigma away. You know, I get it. We do an emotional job. We do a very tough, physically tough job. Mentally tough job. Mostly, and you know, it's time for people to stop with that negative stigma and just go and go get that help. Go. You don't even have to talk to a counselor. You can talk to a friend. Talk to your mom. Talk to your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your sister. Talk to
Right.
somebody. Just don't continue to let that build up and all that. And if you are someone, if somebody decides they're going to reach out to and talk with, don't go and start spreading those people's business with somebody else. That
Mm.
person is trusted, confided in you to help them. You know, to help them. They came to you because they trust you. Because right now they, at the time that they're in, they're probably not. not that many people that already, they're very trusting with. So if there's somebody comes to you and they tell you something, keep it, keep it to
Yeah,
the depth. Like people come to me and talk to me all the time, and you know, a lot of stuff is going to go to the grave with me. A lot of stuff is
exactly.
going to, it's going to go to the grave with me. It really is because somebody trusted me to help them with their issue. So I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to keep that. And I tell people all the time, I don't care what time of night it is or what time of day it is.
Yep.
If I'm able to reach my phone, hit me on Instagram, hit me on Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got. Re talk to me. I'll if you know me, people know me. If you actually know me, you know that I'll sit there and listen, and I will hear. I want to hear your side as well. Don't I just don't like people feeling alone. I don't want people to feel alone to the point to where what we're talking about, my main topic is prevention, suicide prevention. I don't
Right.
want people to feel like they're not worthy enough to seek help, or just because they don't feel like it's a good thing. But my voice is kind of getting cracky, but this is something that I take very that I take and hold very near and dear to heart, because I mean
Yeah.
I've never tried to attempt take my life or anything, but to be 100% honest, it's not like I haven't thought about it, like it has not, it's crossed my mind before. But I mean, me, that's why I went and I sought that help, and I went and got to talk to those people that I need to talk to in order to get to where I need to be. And
Okay.
it takes like legit. That's what it took for me. I mean, people sometimes it talk for it takes a little different to people. You know, I work. I work out a little bit. I'm not a big workout person, but working out, keeping your body healthy. Keeps the mentality. Keeps your mental healthy, and
Mhm.
just keep you up, in a positive mood, because you feel good, you look good, you feel good, and that's what I tell people.
That's good, man. I'll read it. First here, there might be some encouragement for people. I'm putting a link in the description bar, but First Timothy 6:12, and it says, "Fight the good fight of the faith. Take hold of the eternal life
Yeah,
which you were called when you made your good confession in the presence of many witnesses." You know, and I just look at that stuff, man. Timothy, you know about the story. He was very young and stuff. He was to lead up the church, and people, some people felt like he was
yeah,
incompetent because of his youth. But I mean,
hmm
I feel like we are children of God, man. Those who believe, and we're gonna, I look at the prophets and the people who went through these certain things, man. They still continue to move on, but a lot of them didn't live a luxurious life. And I think that it's too that as far as believers, we thinking that we're supposed to be living luxuries, and it's not the wrong enjoying the amenities of this life, but you have
yes,
to too.
not at
You
all.
have, and it's going to be tough, because we're gonna live eternally in heaven. The things that we do on this earth, if we suffer here now on this earth, because everything on this earth it's gonna be irrelevant. The only thing you can do is probably pass generational wealth, but at the end of the day, you can't take none of this stuff with you. So
No,
why are we still, focusing on our mind on, oh, I want to be this person, I want to be this, I want to be that. Like, I think of this person, what does this person think about me? When it comes to doing righteous things, and we have to get into the mindset. When I talked about this with my friend, we got to get into the mindset of storing our treasures in heaven, and the only way to do that is getting back into the fruits of the spirits in Galatians. And so I just feel like as Christians, as believers, we are the antidote for all of this. We the ones that can really supposed to set the example, because the whole world is looking at us. Believe it or not, even the world might hate Christians, but they write books about us, but they looking at us and they observing us, because we are chosen by God. And so if we crumble, if we take our life, or if we decide to give up, then whatever we believe in, it doesn't make sense to the world, because like, wait a minute, what I'm saying. So we're supposed to stand out, basically,
yeah,
and uplift those that are going through things. And so that's how I kind of look at the approach of life. And it's good to have goals, always have goals, always try to be the best person you can be. Don't get it twisted, but just saying that when it comes with this stuff, though, it's you're gonna go through some trial and error, and it's all part of it, But just know that the God, he always he got your back in everything that you do. So and that's probably like a little encouragement for people or anyone who's going to school or who felt like they can't, they're incompetent or doing certain things,
Yeah.
man. You matter, whatever disability you
So
get or anything.
I hit you up like a week ago because I'm trying, my English class,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I was struggling, and man, who do I know somebody who can help me with this? And I'm like somebody that's very punctual and
Yeah.
get me through this, and you help me. I end up passing the class, and
Okay. I was about to ask you, how did it go? Good.
yeah, I didn't pass the grade I wanted, but I mean, I got a passing grade.
That's good. What you get on that assignment specifically?
She gave me a B, so I got a B plus.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay.
Like she
I
didn't
thought
understand.
the essay was pretty good though, but you did edit it out, so
Yeah, I did.
okay. 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 That's good. That's good. Yeah, man. Yeah, no problem, man. Like I said, school is stressing in itself, man. Getting back into it and stuff. I think you say you still want to go for counseling, you say? For schooling?
Yeah, so like right now like sociology, studying sociology with a concentration in education. So
Okay.
I'm also getting a minor in criminal justice, and
That's good. That's good.
so,
Yeah.
trying to see which one I want to, eventually I want to try to get my master's. I don't know if I want to get it in I don't know if I want to get in psychology or either in social work, but either one of those two.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, it's me. It's for political science for me. I want to continue to do that, and I told myself too, like I say the good thing about the military, it help with you. The Air Force specifically, they're big on improving yourself in education, which is good.
yeah,
That's really good. And the thing is, learning a variety of things. I don't know how long I'm gonna be if I commission stuff like that. Maybe I'll do a 20. We'll see. But at this moment, just learning as much as possible and
hmm
trying to set myself up, things in the future and impacting my community. And I feel like the best way to do that is to get educated. That's
yeah,
my
just
personal, yeah.
yeah.
So,
'Cause, like, especially where we grow up from,
oh
you
yeah,
don't get that many politicians that look like us. You don't get to see that many psychiatrists, therapists that
mhm,
look like us, social workers that look like us, or
yeah,
you know, if they are, then it's either female. Not that many male. I've
hmm
never seen a black male psychiatrist. I've been on the earth for 22 years. I've never seen a black male psychiatrist or a black male therapist.
hmm
Because us as men, we just stray away from those
we do,
careers because
yeah,
we don't us as black males we don't want to talk about that touchy feely stuff. But I mean, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be brought up because this is actually a divide that we're having in the black community. We're not
hmm
talking with each other and discussing the issues that we need to discuss, and hence what's going on in America today.
exactly. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think you too. You get Brother Howard too. I think he's studying with history or whatever. Um, so you got a good support system in that way too. So which is good.
Yeah, he's out there. I think he woke up now. You want to get him?
Yeah, you can if you want to be on it. Just let me know he live. Appreciate everyone for coming in here. Like, comment, subscribe. Share for this video. We're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Um, I appreciate everyone coming in, man, especially on Facebook, YouTube. We'll have more. And if you want to be on the show, please email me or message me on Facebook. Keep you on here.
None, forget it. No, he's still in there. About.
Okay, I give him next time though, but you know, but this is a blessing. I'm glad everyone is on here though. So I'll shout out to people from Facebook. Shout out to Asha Cannon. My granddad is looking. Well, I appreciate you, Granddad. Thank you for sharing this on your timeline. Yeah, but this is a heart to heart, video here, and and this is what we need to do, man. So I'm kind of, we reaffirming our position and the things that we're going through right now. What I notice is that it's good to, like I said, Ferris, to be on the internet and doing this, but that human interaction, being in the congregation physically, because I went to church today and that was a great experience. It's different than just sitting at home, not knocking it, but it's different than sitting at home and listening to the word. But that's the purpose of church is fellowship. You know what I'm saying? So we got to collectively come together and touch each other, hug each other. Like we need that. That's what God created us to do. And I know it can be a spiritual strain. I notice, if when the churches are closed, stuff like that, man, it's stuff that nothing that you can really do. And then you still going to work doing your day-to-day business. And it's just like you need that spiritual food, man. So I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you too, if you want to share, like, do you like listen to, because I don't know if churches are open in your area, but do you like kind of like just read the Bible on your own, stuff like that, like during work, after work, lunch and stuff?
So I try to give God 15 minutes of my day, at
Okay.
least 15. It doesn't
Okay.
matter if it's prayer, if it's reading scripture. 15. I know I need to do more, but right now I, I'm dedicated to giving him 15 minutes of my day
Okay.
of reading scripture, praying. If it's even fasting. Anything to help me uplift myself.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I think that's about it, man. Hopefully this help. To a lot of people. We're gonna do more of these talks. And I'm gonna get you more on the show too, man.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
yeah. Yeah, man, definitely, because this is something that a lot of people we need to hear. And I have a passion, man, because I really want our people in general, but especially our people, man, to be restored, man. I feel like it's broken. It's a lot of hurt that's going on in our communities, and this is why we seeing a lot of this stuff and this rest and stress, and and our families are falling apart, man, because they are lacking our family unit, and there's not too many men back into the households. And then you got men that are in the households, but they don't know their natural role, right? So you got women taking on the man's role while the man's role taking on the women's role, so the things are switched. And so therefore you got a lot of children that's growing up in households confused, man. So we pretty much outside of God's natural order. And that's why I always say about the different phases, that if we go back into, scriptures and be led by the Holy Spirit, then you would know that what a man is supposed to do to ensure that discipline for the child, and a woman is supposed to assist her man in their vision and things like that. And that's how you create a healthy family structure. So we need to definitely get back into that, because I do have a passion for African Americans, man, for our black
yeah.
people.
And
Yeah.
man, I can't go off here without saying this, but I had another staff, on my very first flight when I first got here.
Hmm.
He, kind of tried to take me under his wing, but at the time, I didn't understand like what he, meant, by the things that he was doing. And now that he's PCS, he's in a whole other career field now. But,
Hmm.
he's trained, and something that he always said, that he said to me, sat with me, he's like, people can only, people can only, so I'm trying to get it right. People can only look at you the way you look at yourself.
Hmm.
And, I didn't really think, what he was, meaning at the time. Now I do, if you see yourself in a positive light, you live your life in a positive light, people are going to see you in that positive light. If you're living yourself in a negative light, people are going to see you in a negative light. And, shout out to him, I'm not trying to really use names, but
Yeah.
if he knows what I'm talking about. And I'm just, glad that he was actually part of my life, for the time that he was. I mean, very solid guy, and he's a big fan of Muhammad, Muhammad Ali. He's a very
Okay.
big fan. He follows him, and of course, Muhammad Ali was a Muslim, and he, I shout out to him. He knows what I'm talking about. I know I want to reference Muhammad Ali, so he knows what I was talking about.
Okay. Okay.
But I know you're trying to get off stuff. I gotta get.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad we doing this, man. I was gonna leave with one scripture, then we're gonna go ahead and close. So in Psalms 118:14 it says, "The Lord is my strength, my defense, he has become my salvation." So, when things seem hopeless and stuff, man, God's message about our future, he can, definitely encourage us, so that's what I kind of want to leave off of. But thanks for everyone on Facebook, YouTube, man. You guys like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm gonna get you on here more, and don't be hesitant too, man, to hit me up as well, brother.
All right.
Yeah, man. But all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you. Share this video. You take care, man.
Yep, you too, bro.
All right, brother.